Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt like your emotions are running your life? Like one moment you're fine, and the next, you're overwhelmed with anger, fear, or sadness, without knowing why? If you've ever felt like your emotions are controlling your life, making you anxious, angry, or even stuck, then this video is exactly what you need. Today, we're breaking down the powerful book Master Your Emotions by Thibaut Meurisse. This book offers a clear, step-by-step guide to understanding why we feel the way we do and how to take back control. So, let's dive deep into the mind, master our emotional world, and live with more peace, clarity, and power. Part 1. The truth about emotions. What are emotions, really? Let's start with a simple but life-changing idea. Emotions aren't random. They're not out of your control. In fact, emotions are simply reactions to how we interpret events, not the events themselves. Think about it. If it starts raining, one person might get upset because it ruined. The event, the rain, is the same. The difference is the meaning attached to it. You don't experience the world, you experience your thoughts about the world. That's one of the core messages from book. Every emotion we feel is a mirror reflecting our beliefs and thoughts. And the moment we change those thoughts, we change the emotion. Most people think emotions just happen to them. But here's what the book teaches us. Emotions don't come from what happens to us. They come from how we interpret what happens. Two people can go through the exact same event and feel totally different. Why? Because they're telling themselves different stories about it. It's not the event that creates emotion. It's the meaning we attach to it. So if you want to change how you feel, you have to change what you believe about what's happening. Part 2. Your thoughts create your feelings. Have you ever noticed how just one thought can ruin your whole day? You're walking down the street, and someone looks at you a certain way. You think, did I do something wrong? That one thought spirals into insecurity, maybe even shame. But what if that person was just having a bad day or lost in thought? Thoughts are like seeds. The more you repeat a thought, the more it becomes a belief. And beliefs shape how we interpret reality. So if you have a belief like, I'm not good enough, your brain will filter the world to prove that belief true. You'll notice rejection. You'll ignore compliments. And you'll feel bad without even knowing why. But here's the truth. You can challenge your beliefs. Ask yourself, is this absolutely true? What else could be true instead? That simple act of questioning can completely shift how you feel. Every feeling starts with a thought. One small, simple thought can spiral into anxiety, depression, or anger. And if you keep repeating that thought, it becomes a belief. For example, if you constantly think, I'm not good enough, your brain starts to treat it as fact. That belief will color everything you see, and suddenly, a small failure feels like the end of the world. But here's the key. Thoughts aren't facts. You can challenge them. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? Or is there another way to look at this? When you shift your thoughts, your emotions follow. Part 3. Your brain isn't designed to make you happy. This part blew my mind. Your brain didn't evolve to make you happy. It evolved to help you survive. That's why it's constantly scanning for danger, even when you're safe. Fearful face, the amygdala, your fear center, reacts before your logical brain kicks in. That's why we get emotional first and think later. So, if you've ever felt irrational fear, anxiety, or anger, it's not because you're weak. It's because your brain thinks it's protecting you. Key, but once you're aware of this pattern, you can interrupt it. You can say, wait, I don't have to believe every thought my brain sends me. That's emotional freedom. Your brain's number one job is not to make you happy. It's to keep you alive. That's why it constantly scans for danger, even when there's nothing to be afraid of. It wants to protect you, but in modern life, this protection often turns into stress, anxiety, and fear. The part of your brain called the amygdala is like an alarm system. It reacts fast, usually before your logical brain has a chance to think things through. So if you've ever had a strong emotional reaction that didn't make sense, now you know why. But the good news? Once you understand how your brain works, you can pause, breathe, and choose how you want to respond. Part 4. Tools to master your emotions. Okay, now that we understand what causes our emotions, let's talk about how to actually master them. Lightbulb Thibaut shares simple daily habits that can dramatically shift your emotional state. 1. Mindfulness. Learning to observe your thoughts without judgment. Just sit and watch. This trains you to stop reacting. When you take time each day to observe your thoughts without judgment, you create space between you and your emotions. That space is where your power lives. 2. Journaling. Writing out your thoughts helps you see patterns. You might notice how often your mind repeats the same fear-based ideas. Write down how you feel and what you're thinking. Often, just putting emotions into words helps you release them. 3. Gratitude. Focusing on what's going right actually rewires your brain to feel better. When you focus on what's going right, even the small things, your brain starts to rewire itself to feel more calm and joy. 4. Visualization. Imagine the person you want to become. Feel how that version of you would think, speak, and move. This isn't wishful thinking. It's programming your emotions. 5. Body first. Sleep, diet, and movement matter. An unhealthy body fuels negative emotions. You can't feel emotionally strong if your body is drained. Take care of your body. Sleep, food, and exercise all affect how you feel. You can't feel strong emotionally if your body is drained. You can't always control how you feel, but you can control what you do with those feelings. That's the power of these tools. So how do we actually gain control over our emotions? The book gives us simple, powerful tools. These are not just feel-good habits, they're emotional training. Part 5. Don't fight negative emotions, understand them. Now, let's talk about the big one, how to deal with negative emotions. Fire. You don't overcome fear by avoiding it. You overcome fear by facing it, feeling it fully, and choosing a better response. Thibaut suggests something powerful. Don't suppress your emotions. Use them. Every negative emotion is a signal. It's pointing to a belief or need that's not being met. Ear. So instead of saying, I shouldn't feel this way, ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Brain then, choose your response. You're not your anger. You're not your sadness. You're the person watching those emotions, and you have the power to shift them. Negative emotions aren't bad. They're messengers. Fear might be telling you that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Anger might be pointing to a boundary that's been crossed. Sadness could be showing you where something meaningful is missing. Instead of trying to push emotions away, sit with them. Ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Then, respond, not react. This shift from reaction to reflection is the foundation of emotional mastery. Part 6. Building emotional resilience. Emotional mastery isn't about being happy all the time, it's about becoming emotionally resilient, staying calm when things go wrong, and staying centered even in chaos. High voltage, it means you don't break under pressure. You feel everything, but still act with purpose. That's real strength. Thibaut's final message is clear. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You just need to show up every day, stay aware of your thoughts, and practice the tools that lift you. Chart increasing, progress happens in small steps. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you challenge a belief, you're rewiring your emotional reality. The more you practice awareness, the less your emotions control you, and the more you control how you show up in life. And here's the best part. You don't have to be perfect. You just need to be aware, consistent, willing to improve. Every time you pause instead of snapping, every time you choose a better thought, you're mastering your emotions. So what do we learn? To wrap it up, your emotions aren't the enemy. They're just messages. And when you learn to read them, to work with them instead of against them, you unlock an entirely new level of freedom. Your emotions aren't the problem. They're feedback. By mastering your thoughts, you master your emotions. And by mastering your emotions, you master your life. Remember, you are not your emotions. You're the master of them. You have the power to shift your inner world. And when you do, everything outside starts to change too. If this message helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe for more deep insights, self-growth content, and emotional power. And tell me in the comments, what's one emotion you're working on mastering right now? Share this video with someone who needs a little emotional empowerment. Thanks for watching.